Hey Aquarius, Adrian H Nelson of H and Great Life with a general reading for you for the month of October 2020. Okay, so Sun, Moon, Rising and Ascending. So if you've got any of those things there in your chart, me for example, I've got Aquarius Moon in my chart, so this could apply to me as well. If it's communication that we're looking at, we look at our Mercury. If we're looking at love, we're looking at Venus. All right, if you don't know what those things are, there's a link down below in the description that explains it to you. For all of you always coming back, I want to thank you very much. It was, as I said in the previous reading that I did for like 3 months, that I'm not as available every week as I used to be before, but through everything else, I'm always going to do a reading for you. So thank you so much for all of you joining me. You're more than welcome to subscribe. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for all those beautiful things. All right. As always, my beautiful graphic design is done by my best friend, and there's a link down below in the description available for as well. AC Digital Marketing Solutions. Alright, I'm using one of my favorite decks today. I haven't used it in a long time. I haven't used it for personal readings. I haven't used it for online readings, Facebook Live, Instagram, none of those things. I was keeping it for a special occasion, and so you're actually the first ones that I'm doing readings for November 2020, so you're all the icebreakers. Aquarius. Oh, and what an icebreaker indeed. What an icebreaker indeed. Take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate, don't make your own thing about it. Oh, I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Aquarius. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Adrian. I'm an intuitive healer. I thought it was coming up. I'm practicing holistic wellness, transformation in my life, assisting you with transformation in your life, because we are all souls that are walking each other home. Oh, look at this. So we're looking at your kind of recent past, but not just really going to spend a lot of time on your recent past, just what is it that brought you to where you currently are. And some of you are spending too much time on regrets. You're spending too much time on regrets. Some of you moved away because there were politics. And, you had to move away from it. So there were politics, there were, a bit of two-facedness going on, maybe a bit of conniving, vibes. Wasn't really for you. And you said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Maybe a little bit of a two-faced vibe or something like that was going on there. Bit of a rattlesnake moment. So really, this is one of those situations really where your bark is sort of, more dangerous than your bite. I don't know if I said it. I may have said it. I don't know if I said it. But for those of you that, I did say it. My name is Adrian. Anyway, I'm in a very excited energy. I'm actually busy working on a project at the moment, which involves crystals, and I love crystals. So anything that involves crystals always has me on sort of like a hyper sort of vibe, and I am hyper right now. I'm so excited. I'm telling you, my chakras are aligned and my aura is on point. But yeah, so some of you moved away. There was it's it's like one of those situations where it's a whole lot of yap going on, but it's not an actual point. These were people or energies or situations that they were draining your energy. They weren't good for you, and so you said, what, I want to break free from this. I want to break free. I'm not going to do this anymore. It's not working for me. Bah, I'm out of here. All right. Which brought you to where you currently are. We've got new vision. I mean, if you look at that, isn't that beautiful? We've got moment to moment and being very much in the present, and we've got sorrow. Now I'm going to talk about that sorrow because this sorrow is following on that sort of past politics, whoever or whatever it is that you needed to actually step away from. And sometimes within the situation or within the moment at the time, we understand that we have to walk away. We understand why we have to walk away. We understand all those things about honoring ourselves and loving ourselves and all those type of things. But, we're still human at the end of the day, and we still have our emotions and we still have our feelings. So sometimes we feel like, oh, didn't I judge myself too harshly or things like that. And, typical sort of Aquarius tendency can sometimes be to overthink with things quite a lot, and as I said, I'm an Aquarius moon, and I can definitely relate to that sort of overthinking sometimes, dissecting the moment to the point that you start dissecting the dissecting. Doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. All right, so there's a growth here that's taking place. And you know, even if there's sort of like a reconnection maybe with a previous situation, so you know, you're going back into a relationship, into a friendship, into a job, a place of accommodation, maybe you moved away and you're moving back, or you know, whatever the case may be, however that may apply to you, you're sort of coming in with your new energy. You're sort of setting the boundary. You're saying like, okay, so I will do this and I won't do that, and this is how it will be done. But these are sort of my terms and conditions. You know, I'm coming here with my T's and my C's, all right? And you'll need to dot your I's and you need to, cross your T's. And if it's not going to happen, I'm out of here. I feel that, and this is the beautiful thing that happens sometimes, is that the souls that come in to teach us the most difficult lessons, or the most important lessons, they sometimes come with the most difficult sort of circumstances, and they can really hurt us sometimes. Now, I feel that you're really beginning to sort of see the bigger picture instead of just looking at everything as like an isolated event. You're beginning to see the bigger picture, and you're very much in the present, you're very much in the here, you're very much in the now. I feel that a lot of you may have spent a lot of time, you know, sort of not being as present as what would have probably served you, best, all right? And there's a sort of faith, there's a sort of trust here that's coming in. It's almost like something was unlocked within you, a sort of a faith and a sort of trust almost that everything's going to be fine. It's not just you know, this I don't really feel this almost like wishful thinking. It's not like you know, I hope everything's going to be fine, I put my attention there, all those type of things. This is a simple knowing. Even if I don't know the answer, even if I don't see the solution, you know, I don't see what I would like to have, I know that it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen this way, it's probably going to happen that way, and it's probably going to be better than I imagined that it would be. So that's quite a beautiful energy that's going on there. And also what's really wonderful about that is, and that's very much in the middle of your reading here with this moment to moment, it puts you in the present moment. And when you're in the present moment, it doesn't mean that you don't have goals for the future, because I think sometimes when we think about the present moment, we think you shouldn't have goals and you shouldn't have aspirations and you shouldn't feel your emotions. But this is about saying, this is where I am right now, this is where I am, this is how I feel. And it can be that you're feeling absolutely fantastic and elated, or it can be that you absolutely hate the moment. But it's about being present and being honest. And in that sense, you know, especially when you in a space where you're not that happy, even though I feel that for many of you your spirit is quite high at the moment, when we can have that honest moment with ourselves and we look at what is happening here right now, without having any sort of judgment around that, then we can say, okay, so I'm feeling disappointed, I'm feeling hurt, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling annoyed, I'm feeling whatever I'm feeling. But when you, instead of trying to suppress the emotion, when you look at it and you allow it to just be whatever it is, and you sort of, you know, almost look at it with a sense of curiosity, healthy curiosity, you get to see it for what it really is. And a lot of times it's not as much as we make it out to be. Okay. It also, this moment to moment brings us very much into the space of surrender, which is the space of allowing, where you kind of get out of our own way. I always call it, you know, I always call it getting out of God's way. You know, where you say, I want this and I want that and I'd like this and I'd like that. You're making the vision boards and you're saying the affirmations and you're doing all the beautiful stuff. But, you know, just kind of get out of the way so that what you want to have can actually flow to you. All right. Also, this card is with the number 2, and so it's very much about things coming together. It's very much about things coming to pass, and this is often when we are also in that surrender space where let me rephrase this. So in the sense of life, whenever we see the big picture that we see is always really just partially, you know, part of the big picture. We don't really ever see the full picture, because, you know, life is sort of our experience of life, and our, you know, what we see of life it's sort of like subjective to what's going on in our subconscious mind, our belief about ourselves and our values about ourselves. And when we're sort of more present, things start to flow to us, and it's almost like the glue starts to come together. The solutions that we never actually imagined that could actually come to us, they actually start coming to us, and it's actually quite amazing. Now, with this sorrow, also you're in the present moment, so saying, looking at some of those present things, some of you are being a little bit hard on yourself. Some of you are trying a little bit of a pity party here, all right? Like, oh, I wish it didn't have to happen. Oh, it's so horrible. It's so bad. And you're not even seeing the light that's coming through, all right? So feel your emotions, but don't become your emotions, So you can be very angry at somebody, but it doesn't mean that you have to become anger, because if you can understand that you can experience yourself as having anger and being angry without being the actual anger itself, because then you become an ugly person, all right? The kind of person that you don't actually want to be, and that version of yourself doesn't actually serve you any good at all. But I feel that for many of you, especially those of you that are feeling that you're sort of like, at the end of your rope, and that there's nothing left anymore. I feel there's a beautiful breakthrough that's actually coming here for you. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful breakthrough coming here for you. And the surrender space actually really helps. So the vision that you have for yourself, don't think that your vision is too big, that you can't actually achieve it. Don't underestimate the small things that you do. Even if you have maybe even one plant, that love that you give a plant, we often don't think too much about it. But if you, for example, have a plant and you live alone, if you don't look after that plant, especially if it's not in the ground, if it's in a pot, if you're not going to give it water, for example, the plant is not going to make it. So that is an act of love. Don't underestimate the small things that you are doing. Okay? All right. And even other things, acts of love that we can do. Say, for example, you are in your home, and you say, you know what? Just as a sign of love to the planet and the people that are working, and all the energy and whatever, I'm not going to leave any unnecessary lights on. I'm going to switch the lights off so that I can help to preserve the sort of overall grid. Doesn't matter where you live in the world. That is a sign of love. Okay? It's a sign of appreciation for others that might probably never know about it, but that's absolutely fine. It is a beautiful, I think it was Princess Diana that was speaking about a random act of kindness, something that somebody will never know about. There is that random act of kindness which really assists the world. All right, so what's coming towards you? Where you're going? What's going forward? What's the vibe? Maturity. And this is more a maturity of sort of mind, acceptance of like energy, which brings you into this space, which is receptivity, where things can actually really come to you quite beautifully. And look at this, we are the world. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. So there's the flow that you have with life, it's becoming better and better and better. The relationship that you have with life, with the overall energy of the universe, obviously the relationship that we have with the energy of the universe is always expanding. It can be expanding in a, if you focus on the very sort of negative things, it expands in a way that we don't prefer. And if we obviously, that little work that we do, the light that we switch off, the plant that we give water, it's the small things that we do. It expands. It's almost like this soil, this fertile soil in our mind that has always been there. It's been there since the day we were born, and there were seeds that were laying dormant there, and the actions that you are taking, the seeds are starting to grow, they're starting to come out, they're starting to flower. So there's a beautiful stage coming about for you. And this card is such a really a portrayal there for you when you look at it. It is what goes on inside. It's what happens inside of you, in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, in your being, as a soul that's having a human being experience with with the law of attraction, with the law of free will, where you can decide. And just on that point, I just want to stop there for a moment, and I just want to touch on something very quickly, and that is divine timing. Divine timing is when you decide for it to be. And, when you look at it, say, for example, your life is not going so well. Now, you have the choice to change your outlook on life and your relationship with life at any given point in time. It's entirely up to you when you do it. But when you start to do it, your life starts to change. It's like some sort of magic starts to happen. Now, you can do that when you are 5 years old. You can do that when you're 16. You can do that when you're 60. You can do that when you're 80. You can never do it. It's entirely up to you. Your experience of life is determined by you. And divine timing is determined by you. And sometimes we have to put in the work in order to get the beautiful things to come towards us, you know. And so all this work that you've done where you currently are, you know, so we're now speaking what's coming towards you. But first of all, where you currently are, in many ways, as a result from what you stepped away from, you know, being in that moment to moment, that almost sense of faith, feeling your feelings. Some of you have been, you know, having this experience where you are very present, very moment to moment, and still had, you know, quite a lot of battles and demons that you needed to fight there. But it's brought you into this beautiful space. And this is sort of also when we're in that space sometimes where we're moving from here to over here. So this is where we are and this is where we'd like to be. But the space in between can feel very funky sometimes. And you really getting to terms with that, because as humans, we are also very habitual sort of creatures. You know, we like to hold on to stuff, anything. It doesn't matter what it is, anything. We're always holding on to something. But eventually our mind sort of gets the message, and your mind is beginning to get the message. The small efforts that you do are really beginning to pay off quite big, and you are aligning yourself with the universe going forward. You're in that process of aligning yourself with the universe in such a manner that you are able to have beautiful things unfold in your life, beautiful things manifest in your life. Because the way that we do that, it's all about our alignment. So you're busy moving into that alignment space, which, you know, sometimes when you do these very big jumps, as some of you are busy doing at the moment. So even though you're present, it's a bit present, not so present, present, not so present, because there's a bit of a hip-hop going on there, okay? But you come into a beautiful space where, with the number 10 there, with We Are the World, where you align yourself with really everything and anything, and it's beautiful. And the overall energy for your reading is success, all right? And we're only going to clarify that one really with the number 6. And number 6 is an incredible number because it's also it's the potential for things to become more. You know, this card is all about emotions. You can see this is the energy being on a tiger over there, sort of stepping, you know, on the globe of like the world basically. And that's a very sort of joyful energy going on there. It's like, yeah. You know, it's very, very joyful, and it's very, very beautiful what is actually happening over there, because this is about that really inner sort of energy, inner strength. And look at what is the first card that came out here. My goodness, if there has ever been a confirmation, this is most certainly it. I want to tell you all about it now, okay? I want to draw you 4 cards because I like this reading. It's all sort of like about stability. And number 4, also associated with the square, it's about stability in your human experience of life. You know, this thing that we, okay, there's too many cards. You know, this, what you're having over here is when we really invest ourselves in the human experience, you know. It's not about you, you know, trying to be anywhere else or do anything else. This is all about the beautiful current human experience. And oh, okay. Now look at you, Aquarius. Now look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Okay, I'm gonna point this way so it doesn't look so bad. Okay. We're gonna talk about this just now. We're gonna talk about this. Because some of you all are holding on to the past. Some of you are, there's some feelings of I should do something to deserve this. There's some feelings of, you know, I need to do something to deserve it. I need to earn this. Okay, wow, look at this, look at this, look at this. I'm going to tell you now what is so incredible about this clarified. So the overall energy, you got number 6, remember success there? And then you got the 6 of Wands. So it's sort of like the same thing that is repeated for you twice there. This is about coming into your space, coming into your beauty, positive karma, all that hard work that you've put in there. You know, sometimes you forget how much you've put into a situation. You forget all the wonderful things that you've done. You forget how beautifully you've contributed to the world. All right. If you're anything like my best friend who does my my thumbnails, as I said before, with the link down below in the description, AC Digital Marketing Solutions. the things that she's done for me is amazing. They're incredible. The things that she does for the rest of the world are amazing. And, you know, obviously I know a couple of other Aquarius as well, you know, Aquarians as well. I don't think you'll always realize the beautiful things that you do in the world. You sometimes feel that you just sort of have to do it because you've got that humanitarian thing going on about you. And that is actually what got a lot of you into the situation where you had to almost, you know, really let go of certain things, or you had to sort of like reset the boundaries, you know, sort of tip the scales. You'd be like, whoa, 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 hold on now, okay? Easy tigers, because I am riding the tiger of the world, or I'm riding a powerful horse. My moment is coming in, my shine is coming in, okay? Now, Ace of Wands in reverse. There is nothing that you need to do to deserve all the beautiful things that are coming to you. You are born with the full right to enjoy the most beautiful experience of life. This is your right. This is your birthright, all right? Page of Cups. Look at this. Beautiful things coming in for you. For those of you that are looking for love, that are looking for a breakthrough, that are looking for a break, that are looking for something nice to come to you, I don't really feel that it gets handed to you on a platter because, you know, as we just established there with the Ace of Wands in reverse, it's not really your type of vibe. I feel a beautiful opportunity coming your way, a beautiful maybe suggestion coming your way, a nice idea coming your way. Pay attention to your dreams, you know, keep a dream journal if you have to. Look out for the signs. What are the things that are happening? And don't overthink the signs, you know. If they say that the angels are with you, if you see butterflies, and that's normally how you see it, take the butterflies. Don't feel that it has to be caterpillars now or something else, okay? Don't overthink life. And finish off by the Judgment card. And this is why I was smiling, because I actually saw this card. Remember earlier on when I said too many cards? This one was sort of like right in the middle, in between. I'm going to draw you one more card. The scales are tipping for you. Things are balancing for you. Some of you are still struggling with certain things over there, coming to terms with things. And also there might be people that, you know, they kind of got it in for you and you're not quite sure what they're going to do. I feel that there's beautiful things are being sort of resolved for you, you know, in really wonderful ways that you don't have to try so hard. What do we have? The Three of Pentacles, new beginnings, and it can be a beautiful, beautiful new start for you. All right, you decide. So what do you choose? I'm going to end off for you with one of my favorite oracle decks that I have, the Moonology deck. And this is just really seeing what does the energy of the moon have to say for us. So this is not necessarily where the moon is at the moment or what the moon is doing or all those type of things. At the time of me doing this reading, I'm going to put it out a little bit later because I'm doing it in between other things. But, you know, Mercury is in retrograde and everybody's like, Mercury is in retrograde, Mercury is in retrograde. But the thing is, you need to see what is life showing you. You need to pay attention. If you pay attention, life will show to you what is not working out. And that is something very synonymous to a Mercury retrograde. It shows to you what is not working out, not because it's trying to mess up your life, but because it's trying to highlight what was already not working so that you can work on healing that in a loving way. So when it comes to the next Mercury retrograde, or whichever one, because the planets are forever going into retrograde, that it doesn't affect you so badly. All right, so card that came out for you is New Moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. Okay? And if you're going to give for a change, just give to yourself. Give to yourself, all right? And on the top of the deck, we've got full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture, all right? And as we said earlier on, you can be present, but know that there's a much bigger picture that you're not even always aware of, and that can serve you in a very, very beautiful way. This faith and trust that you have developing here is definitely serving you in incredible ways. And especially with this card that you got, this new moon in Virgo. You know, Virgos, it's about getting your house in order. It's about getting things, you know, flowing. What are the sort of hiccups that are not working? And I want to actually hiccup. You know, this is about things sort of moving into order. And it's about knowing that there's so much more to you than just yourself. You are part of a very big galactic being. You are part of the universe. The universe is part of you, and things are shifting into place for you. All right, and so it is. If this resonates with you, you're more than welcome to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Remember, if you subscribe to the channel, to hit that notification bell, and to hit also when your readings are coming out, because they're not just coming out every week anymore. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your energy, your love, and your light. I hope that November is the most beautiful, beautiful month for you. From my heart, namaste.